I think the entire thing was 12 working days, which is fucking staggering to think we just flew through it. And to say that I got here with half the songs unfinished is quite the thing. It's something you would only do when you were young, because you wouldn't second guess it. Hello was written for Definitely Maybe. I recall doing a demo of it with Mark Coyle. I was quite blown away by the chorus today, actually, when I went to that bit. It's like, wow, fucking hell. Hello is a great fucking opening tune for a gig. It's Hello. You know what I mean? I hadn't heard the opening track since, I think we did it once at Finsbury Park in 2000. And when it came on, I was like, wow, fucking hell. You know, it's a fucking great song. That tune's fucking great. Hello. I remember the first thing that we did was Roll With It. That's the only song we did live on the record, and we did it like Definitely Maybe. I was set up in that corner, Griggs was in that corner, I think Bonan was in the room, Alan was in there, and Liam was over here somewhere. The version that's on the record is the second take. The first take was fucking great, and then the second take, Owen said, wow, do you want to do another one? We're like, go on then. And somebody did something that was better on the second take, and that was it. Alan White had just joined the band, right? So he barely knew any of the band. So he's in here with a load of fucking Mancunians. He's a Cockney. On his first day in the studio with Oasis. And it's all, again, it's like a thing where it just seemed, you didn't give a fuck. Of course, it'll work, it'll be great. You know, there was no like, fuck, oh, we've got a new drummer and we've got to break him in and fucking all that shit. It was just like, no, this is gonna work because I said it's gonna work and therefore it fucking will.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
That's the wall that I sat on that day.
Yeah,
like a fucking,
set you up there.
A fucking idiot playing Wonderwall. See, I always thought there was a field there. Did there used to be sheep in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the lot of sheep were watching me do Wonderwall. Don't know who was more freaked out, me or them. I remember being early in the morning and climbing up on the wall and thinking, what the fuck, it's a fucking stupid idea. I came up with it the night before. And I remember saying to Owen, I've got this song called Wonderwall. I want to record it on a wall. Yeah. I remember it just being really cold and saying into the mic to Owen, I think this is a shit idea. And he was like, no, it sounds fucking great. I was like, fuck that. But even that made it, that's on the very start of the album.
Very start of the album.
Because you can hear the birds singing.
Yeah.
On the Definitely Maybe tour, a guy that was working for us in New York from our record company had a brother who had a cassette of John Lennon in conversation in the Dakota building just before he died. And in that cassette, John Lennon says the words, was the effect of, and then they'll tell you that the brains you'd have gone to your head. And that line stuck with me. And I thought, I will fucking die if I don't shoehorn that into a song somehow. Which is why the piano chords from Imagine are at the beginning as a nod to that.
So I start a revolution from my bed, 'cause you said the brains I had went to my head.
I wrote it in Paris after a night at a strip club. So I've often wondered if Sally a stripper. It sounds like a piss take, but I've often wondered that. But I don't know who Sally is. Although somebody did come up to me years later and said, it's like a girl said, it's Sally Cinnamon. And I was like, fucking brilliant, what a fucking, I wish I'd have thought of that. I'd have fucking rinsed that story for fucking years. The electric guitar that I played that song on was a Fender Stratocaster that was given to me by Johnny Marr, another one. And the amp is a 1963 Vox AC30 that was the house amp for the Cavern. And I bought it off one of the Hollies. And that's why it sounds so amazing. I've done gigs where I've gone to sing the first line and just given up. And the entire crowd has sang it from start to finish. It's like a mad, that song is mad. It's fucking mad. I don't even, why, who knows? It's just got the magic.
I heard you say
there were a couple of chords we used to jam at sound checks. I remember doing it once at the Marquee. It's quite a weird song. It's got weird chords to it, and there's a fucking synthesizer on it, I heard today. Don't know who fucking snuck that in. We didn't even have a synthesizer, so I was like, listening to it today on the train, going, who the fuck's playing that? But again, there's great lyrics. That's what I thought about that tune today. I took a walk with my fame down memory lane and never did find my way back. Some fucking great rhyming couplets on that tune. But it must have been one that I wrote before I got here, because there's a lot of lyrics to it. I don't know why it's called the Swamp Song. It was just a thing we would fuck around with. Comes in and out at a couple of points in the record. I was like, wow, that's fucking hell. Do you remember a band called Grant Lee Buffalo? Nobody does. So they're like an American indie band after grunge, but they were kind of, I'm not a fan, right, but they had this tune called Fuzzy. You can see that it's been a big influence on, some might say, I'll obsess about a song for years and I'll rip it off 12 times. I'll get fucking 12 different tunes out of it. Everything that I do is a nod to something or other. I'm not a genius. I'm a fan of music, do you know what I mean? Like, Paul McCartney's a genius, do you know what I mean? And fucking Morrissey and Bob Dylan, and I'm not, I'm just fans of theirs. I've got a good knack of, you know, putting shit together, but I'm not snob about where it comes from. I'll tell you. Nothing is original. There's only 12 notes anyway.
As he faced the shadow.
Cast No Shadow is my, actually, in my head, I believe I wanted it to sound like Pink Floyd, because it's the same chords as Wish You Were Here. The opening chords are the same. But like I said, I was listening to it today, and it sounds a bit half-baked to me. It's kind of, there's a country thing going on, and it's kind of something that's, it's kind of fallen in between two stylistic stools. But it's a fucking great song. You know, some of the best words I ever wrote in that song. Bound with all the weight of all the words you tried to say, chained to all the places that you never wished to stay. I mean, fucking hell, I have no recollection writing it, right? But when I heard it today, I was like, fucking hell, mate. Well done. You know, it's a great, great fucking line, you know. Profound, even, do you know what I mean? And, yeah, again, just writing on instinct. On not really thinking about it, you know what I mean? And it's a shame it hasn't got a second verse. But when we were doing it here, Morning Glory, the verve, or the verve, whatever the fucking hell they were called then, I'd split up for the first time, and it was a pretty nasty fallout, as I remember. And Richard had taken it pretty badly, and him and Owen were quite close. And just dedicated it to him. This is like a big up, you know what I mean?
As he faced the sun, he cast no shadow. She's electric. She's in a family full of eccentrics. She's done things I've never expected, and I need more time.
It was written around the time of Definitely Maybe, but it got bumped for Diggsy's Dinner, because I think Diggsy's Dinner sounded better live, because it's a less complicated song. But it was again, it's got great words. I don't know how I've come up with that shit. I don't know how I've come up with that, like, it's kind of like the importance of being idle in its 60s-ness, and it's got a definite kind of story, and it's very Britpop. And listening to Liam hit those high notes was like, wow, fucking hell.
And I want you to say, do you know what I'm saying? What's the story, Morning Glory? Well,
On the Definitely Maybe tour, I'd met this girl in America. When we would meet, she would say, hey, what's the story, Morning Glory? Right? Now, I don't know what the fucking hell it ever meant. And I was talking to some American journalists yesterday, and I said, what does it mean? They were like, well, I've never heard it before. And I was like, well, I thought it was like an American, like top of the morning to you, you know what I mean? Something like that. Again, I thought, what's the story, Morning Glory? And I shoehorned it into that tune. Why it's ended up as the title of the album, I don't know. I do remember writing that fucking line, all your dreams are made when you change a mirror and the razor blade, in this room. I've listened to it today feeling like I sound like I was just in the zone there, where it was just like everything that I was writing was meaningful. That transition from Morning Glory to Champagne Supernova, where there's that helicopter and then it gets onto water lapping on a beach. I was trying to put, I don't know why that is, but I would have had some kind of fucking, of why that is. The gigs on that Morning Glory tour used to start with the helicopter sound. They were like spine-tingling fucking moments. Yeah, I was big into sound effects then. I get why it fucks with people now, that album. I can get it now if you're 14 now listening to it, because there's nothing for a 14-year-old kid who's into rock and roll to get his teeth into today. There's nothing. And even the bands that do play guitars, they're not fucking doing stuff like that. It kind of dawned on me today for the first time in 25 years. When we left here, we went into the festival circuit to clean up the Definitely Maybe era with some festivals. So we'd run into Weller and Craddock and all that mob in various places. I remember sat on the back of somebody's tour bus playing him the rough mixes, and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna fucking I'll fucking play on that." So he come down and he thought he was going to play on Morning Glory, but Champagne Supernova was crying out for a guitar solo because mine was a shocker. And he played on that. He's fucking... I mean, thank God he did. Thank God he did. You know, no one knew how Champagne Supernova was going to turn out because nobody had fucking heard it. You know, that song was like 7 minutes long, and no one had heard it, except me. And I wasn't even really sure. I hadn't even finished it. I wasn't even really sure how it was going to fucking work out. You know what I mean? All I knew is I had the verse and a chorus and the little guitar break, the... I had that in my head. I'd never played it, obviously. And you're just working on instinct. My instinct's telling me this is going to be great, so therefore we'll go and we'll do it, you know. But yeah, the first 5, 6 tracks, I was like, wow, Wonderwall's coming. Fucking hell, we're going in early here. Like, Don't Look Back in Anger's like fucking 3rd song in or something. I was like, wow, that's fucking full on. You know, I can see why 22 million people have bought it.
Right, if we lose it, join in.
It was a ridiculous song. It was like stupid, daft thing he used to play in the rehearsal room to the lads. And I thought it'd be great if Bonehead sang it. So I did the backing track, did a guide vocal, and, you know, he took a cassette up and he listened to it. And I said, "You up for it or what?" And he's like, yeah, I'm fucking up for it. And he went to the pub for a few drinks to loosen up before he sang it, and fell back in here, fucking absolutely shit-faced. And there is a great version of him trying to sing it where he's proper fucking rat-arsed. Because I think him and Liam are on the end, aren't they, pissed up? Yeah, jibber-jabbering, yeah. Well, there's endless takes of that shit. Yeah, there's some stupid lyrics in that fucking... she looked like a mum, had a face like a nun in vain. No. Cocaine's one hell of a drug.
Right, we're on it. Don't you know? Right.
Rocking Chair was done in these sessions. I remember being here last. Everyone had gone, and our crew were packing the gear away, and me and Owen were doing the rough mixes. I remember sitting in here and writing It's Better People in about 10 minutes, and just going to stop everybody, unload the gear, get it all back here, and Owen's going, well, I've just written this song and recorded it in about an hour. So that was done here. Step Out was done here. But things like the master plan, you know, Wonderwall was going to be a single. We're a track short, we need a B-side, and I would go away and write a B-side. It turns out that at that time, everything that I wrote was amazing. And possibly the master plan might have been the last of the great, fucking great, culturally significant songs that I wrote. But I kind of like the fact that there's B-sides that should have been A-sides that should have been on the album. I like it. And I wish fans would stop going on about it. Because that makes Oasis what they are, is the fact that, you know, you don't just get to sit and listen to it on an album. There's about another 12 tunes that you might have to fucking go looking for. Like Listen Up, Talk Tonight, Head Shrinker, The Master Plan, Acquiesce, fucking Rocking Chair, It's Good to Be Free, Fade Away. You know, there's 10 straight away, do you know what I mean? That were good enough to launch any band's career.
We'll dance if they wanna dance, please, brother, take a chance. You know they're gonna go which way they wanna go. We know is that we don't know.
I was doing an interview yesterday where somebody said, let's talk about the iconic album cover, and I was like, really? Fucking hell. I mean, things like titles and covers, they become themselves, right? I remember getting the thing for the Morning Glory cover and being furious. I was like, is that it? What the fucking hell's that? I wanted it to be shot early in the morning in the streets while the streets were empty. And I think me and Liam were supposed to be in it somewhere, but we'd been out all night, couldn't fucking get it together. But of course it's become iconic and people read a lot of things into it, you know.